This will be the start of the streetcar route or the end of the streetcar route for the first phase. So the streetcar is a 2.1 mile starter system, and we'll have a station right here. It's called an inverted stop. So basically it'll be built into the terraceway and into the sidewalk. And so this is where basically the streetcar will come, it'll stop at the stop location. The streetcar vehicles will be double-ended, and so there will be an operator cab on each end. The operator will simply open the doors, people will get out of the car, operator will walk to the other end of the car, allow boarders to board. They'll actually have what we call signal priority at Farwell. So as the operator gets into the streetcar and goes to proceed westbound on Ogden, they'll actuate. It'll actually be all computer-generated actuation. We'll tell Farwell that the streetcar is here and present and ready to go through the intersection. They'll get a signal priority, get a streetcar-specific arrow so they can get back into mixed traffic and head westbound on Ogden Avenue. So Kilbourne will have 2 tracks in the median, so this is going to be one of the only sections where we have a dedicated lane solely for the streetcar. So no automobiles will be able to operate within the median, and actually Kilbourne's going to get a little bit of a road diet. So right now it's 2 lanes in each direction. We're going to be, not because of the streetcar, but in conjunction with the streetcar while we're doing events like this, going to be adding a buffered bike lane in each directions. And we're going to be removing the angled parking and replacing it with parallel parking. So Kilbourne, sort of as you see it, as a major auto thoroughfare, it's really over capacity currently with the volumes of automobiles that are on it. And so I really feel like we're sort of right-sizing this section of the street, and the streetcar is just part of that.
Both Broadway and Milwaukee are going to have buffered bike lanes, and there'll be a lot more priority given to other modes of transportation on the streets that the streetcar is on. So it's going to be a little bit of a change for most people, I think, at first that travel through the downtown, because I think they aren't used to having that transit priority. Usually they have a bus that comes up and it pulls over to the curb conveniently so that all the cars can go by nice and quickly. So it's going to really change the landscape, and it's really going to start to introduce Milwaukee to a real transit type of a system. So we're pretty excited about that.
The city just contracted with Kiewit, which is a national infrastructure company, and Kiewit's in what we call the pre-construction phase. And so we're negotiating the price of the project, we're negotiating the schedule of the project. Our goal is to have the system open in fall of 2018. The blue line and the green line overlap with each other, and so you could actually hop on a streetcar at Wells and Broadway and either ride that streetcar to the intermodal station, or you can ride it to the lakefront. So this is all electric. We just rode over a lot of electric relocations, and then the sidewalk to it right now is a gas main that's just getting finished up. Again, giving Broadway a slightly different feel than your current environment. 2 lanes of automobiles in each direction, very pro-automobile. The new cross section will have 1 lane in each direction. We'll also be building a new median stretch, a boulevard, basically from Wisconsin Avenue to, you ready? You good? To Kilbourne Avenue. And so we'll have a boulevard in the middle with a dedicated left turn pocket at each of the major intersections, and then an auto lane that's shared with the streetcar, and then the outside will be a buffered bike lane and then parking. The other cool part about this segment is we're at a major overlapping area with the lakefront line, and so I hadn't talked much about the lakefront line, but that will be about 1.5 miles long, and it's going to overlap the blue line. We're currently calling it the green line and the blue line. Obviously a bunch of planners and engineers came up with the words and the terms because there's zero creativity whatsoever. But hopefully we're going to go through a branding process and rename the routes. We may or may not change the names, we'll see. But the lakefront line will go from Cathedral Square, where we just were, so you could get on at Wells and Broadway. You could ride the streetcar down Broadway to the 3rd Ward. It will then loop over to Michigan Street, right where we are here. It'll go through the Couture buildings. So does everybody know what the Couture project. It's a 44-story, $125 million, 300 housing unit development. The streetcar will go through the podium of the building and come out the other side on Clybourne Street. And so it's going to go down Michigan right over here, through the building, and then back down Clybourne and then up Milwaukee Street. So it's going to act as like a figure eight that just basically overlaps the center of downtown. So the operations and maintenance facility is going to go right down. You see the stoplights down there at 4th and Clybourne. So that's where the operations and maintenance facility will be. It'll be about a 15 to 20,000 square foot building. It's going to house 3 bays. It'll have a maintenance bay, a wash bay, and a light maintenance bay. So we'll have cranes and equipment in there to fix and work on the vehicles, clean the vehicles. We're going to have about 25 to 30 employees that will both be maintenance crews to operators of the system, of the vehicles, to supervisors, hey Mary, that will work out of that shop. We do have a lot of information out there on our webpage about construction updates, so if you are a downtowner, live or work near downtown, and want to know when the next street's going to get torn up as a result, check out our website and pay attention to that. So yeah, the OMF will be the end of the 2-mile route, and so that'll connect from 4th and St. Paul all the way up to Burns Commons where we started our route, so it's 2 miles. We're going to have 3 vehicles that operate on that alignment, so the streetcar is going to come every 10 to 15 minutes at those stop locations that we rode by on the main line. We'll have a 4th vehicle that will operate on the lakefront line, and that's going to come by about every 15 minutes. Obviously, we also wanted to connect to the intermodal station. Over 1.5 million users use the intermodal station every year. Hiawatha line to Chicago on Amtrak carries about 850,000 riders a year and growing. So there's a high volumes being using the intermodal station, and so we call it the last mile connection. So anybody ever go somewhere and you get dumped off in a downtown and you're like, where the heck am I? How do I get to where I want to go? Well, the goal is the streetcar is going to be that last mile connection for people coming from Chicago. Can hop off the train, hop on the streetcar and go to the lakefront, go to Cathedral Square, go up to the Lower East Side. So.